Movement, October the 13th, 2016. We got a lot of videos. I got 3 videos coming about Russia and the coming World War III. It's pretty unique, people. We're on the verge of World War III with Russia. And today I'm going to bring you guys the proof. I've been gone a couple days, relaxing, working. But we're going to start off. U.S. officially blames Russia for political hacking attempts. And this was last week when they reported this. This was on October 7th, 2016, on that Friday. And we could all remember when the DNC convention was hacked in during Hillary Clinton. And they're all blaming Russia. It could be anyone. It could be Russia, it could be China, it could be North Korea, it could be anyone. They don't know if it's Russia. But we got a lot of deep news coming on Russia. I got a couple videos I'm going to start doing later on today about the New World Order. So, U.S. officially blames Russia for political hacking attempts. The link's going to be at the bottom. Because the U.S. turns up heat. Alright? We are turning up heat on Russia, folks. And this article is going to be linked at the bottom. It's by Fortune. Alright? And we're on the verge of World War III. So everyone out there that's listening, I want people to be prepared. We're on the verge of World War III. We're on the verge of a world economy collapse. We're on the verge, and I'm about to show you guys the New World Order pieces of videos. I'm going to start today, but next week's we're going to be into the truth. All right, we got aliens. I believe aliens are fallen angels, but we got a lot of stuff coming this way. So I'm going to read this article. U.S. turns up heat on Russia as ties deteriorate. The U.S. has accused Russia of everything from hacking to war crimes. And this is true. We just accused them of war crimes with Syria last week. All right. And the reason Russia's defending Syria so much is because Russia and China gets all their gas and oil from there. All right. If we went in there and we controlled, then Russia and China wouldn't be able to have war against us, because then we would control their supply line. All right, and to win the war, you could control supply line, cut off the supply line, what fuels the engines, what fuels the crops, the foods, all that is gas and oil. All right, and they get it all from Syria, so they want to keep Syrian President Assad in charge. All right, and to fight up against the rebellion. That's why they're so strong on it. But let's read into it. This is a new world order. Even though Russia may want to go to war with America, and even though China wants to go a war with America or Russia, all these countries are part of the one world order. They just want to keep people divided. Excuse me. So the Obama administration is turning up the ridiculous heat on Russia, accusing senior Russian officials of ordering the hacking of American political sites to try to interfere in the upcoming presidential election, and suggesting that the Russian military is committing war crimes in Syria. Okay, Friday, brigades of allegation from Washington, coupled with angry denials from Moscow, mark a descended to yet another low point, an increasingly poor relation between the former Cold War foes, who are deeply divided over key international issues of war and peace, and appear on the path of a one-upsmanship perhaps not seen since the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. And they're going to just repeat about the hacking allegation during the DNC, and they're accusing Russia, not just America, but also our allies are accusing Russia of war crimes in Syria. All right, and we're going to get much deeper in it. All right, it's the New World Order. All right, the New World Order, people think, is a one world government. Well, folks, wake up and smell the coffee. You're already in that one world government. All right, people think that there's going to be a one world order that we're all going to be underneath. They would never in a million years have a one world government like that. All right, then they would unite people. They want to keep people divided in countries, states, division of race, so they can never unite against them. So the New World Order knows that you guys know about the New World Order and pretends that you guys want to disrupt the one world order game. But we ready. You got the United Nations. They control our relationships. Since the end of World War II, we never declared war. We're always on NATO. That's one way. All right, we're on NATO. That's how we declare war, is NATO. America, our Congress does not declare war since World War II. Proven fact. We're going to get much deeper in this. So let's move on, folks. So the next article is the former Soviet Union president. I forgot how to pronounce his name. His name is Golden Fudge. We're about to get into that. But Russian, all right, trust me, there's a one world order government. They want us to have war, make more money, make more of that, more control to keep you people hypnotized. People think Donald Trump's for them. Donald Trump's just a puppet, just like Hillary Clinton. But this is another article. Russia seeks to reopen military bases in Vietnam and Cuba. Moscow. Russia is working to reestablish its former military bases in Vietnam and Cuba, a senior official said on Friday, reflecting Moscow's growing ambition to reassert itself on the world stage. The official Deputy Defense Minister Nikolai Panikov spoke at the National Parliament shortly before the lawmakers voted to ratify an agreement with Syria to make the Russian military presence their permanent base. Russia lowered its flag at the Cam Ranh Bay Naval Base in Vietnam and at the Lord Signal Intelligence Station in Cuba in 2002 when it scaled back its military presence around the world for budgetary and other reasons. We are rethinking the decision that were made earlier, Mr. Pankovia said, without giving any details. The Russian government has complained over the years that the West never appreciate the goodwill Russia showed in closing the base. Mr. Peskov, the Kremlin spokesman, told reporters on Friday that the circumstances had changed since 2002. The global station is not static, it is in flux, Mr. Peskov said, according to Russia's Interfax news agency. You see that the last 2 years have made significant changes to international affairs and security. Therefore, it's quite natural that all countries assess these changes in line with their national interests and take certain steps in ways they consider appropriate. Russia already has agreement with Vietnam to allow Russian ships to enter the Cam Ranh Bay under a simplified procedure, and the Russian Air Forces have been using airfields in Vietnam since 2014. So they're already there. President Vladimir V. Putin has often said that because Russia has very few military bases abroad, it cannot be considered a Belgradian country. Russia currently has full bases only in Syria and former Soviet republics in its own territory. So we know Russia is about to open up their bases in Cuba, and we know Russia is already got playing fields in Vietnam. All right, during the Vietnam War, where was Russia? Remember, Cold War. Russia backed up the Viet Congs. All right, the Vietnam War was never meant to be won. All right, people think that we went to the Vietnam War to fight communists. All right, the Vietnam War was for 16 years. All right, people, that's why you see all these Vietnam soldiers all messed up. They gave them drugs, alcohol, all that. But the strikes of the Vietnam War, this is the truth, right? First off, they couldn't shoot American soldiers and NATO soldiers, since basically it was 90% us. But we couldn't shoot the Viet Cong unless we were being fired upon. All right, we couldn't stop military bases by being completed till it was fully completed. We couldn't shoot at no airplanes they had. We couldn't shoot at them until they interaged with the American soldiers. That's why it went on for 16 years, and that's why it looks like they won the war. If you look at World War II, it only took 3 years, and we went in and we wiped out, pretty powerful countries there, Germany and Japan, and in World War II, we weren't a superpower. All right, and all these generals during the Vietnam War said, well, we could have won the war in 3 weeks if they let us use our force, but they didn't. They just let us sit back. The war was about destroying a country so they could put and rebuild it through the New World Order, what we call the United Nations. That's a whole different topic, but we get into this. So right now, Russia is going back to Cuba. Russia's going back to Vietnam, reestablishing these old bases. For what reason? When we go into World War III, that the New World Order wants another war that big, change currency, And instead of having so many countries, they're going to just divide up the war in 10, countries. All right, and that's the New World Order. All right, and there's still going to be war. That's always. But we're right in that New World stage that people don't understand. Trust me, they do not want a one world order, one government ruling the whole world. They want to keep people divided so they can stay in power. So Russia wants to reopen its bases back in Cuba to surround, America. All right, during World War II and the Cold War, Russia puts nuclear submarines, and they just tested this a few years ago. They brought their nuclear submarines as close to America from Cuba to see how far they could push it, just like they're flying planes. All right, so we're on the brink of World War III, folks. Excuse me. Now, this is what Gorbachev is warning, danger points of Russia. Used to be the old Soviet Union's dictator, whatever you want to call it, president, when it was the Soviet Union. And people don't realize Vladimir Putin was part of the KBG. All right? Yeah, and Putin was part of the KBG. All right, and he wants to bring back the KBG. I did a report a few weeks ago or last week on the KBG that they're redoing the KBG. All right? So let's get into this. U.S. and Russia going to war. Gorbachev warns dangerous point reach over Syria talk. All right. Addressing the growing diplomatic divide between the two superpowers, former Soviet Union leader Mikhail Gorbachev said Monday the United States and Russia have come to a dangerous point over the conflict in Syria. Agency France Press reported. Gorbachev, 85, that's his age, who was the final leader of the Soviet Union until it was officially dissolved in 1991, was commenting on the U.S. decision last week to severe talks with Russia over how to assess the 5-year-long civil war in Syria. I think the world has reached a dangerous point, Gorbachev said to state news agency RIA Novosti. I don't want to give any description, but I do want to say that this needs to stop. We need to renew dialogue. Stopping it was the biggest mistake. Milltary say John Kerry told reporters Tuesday that discussion over the situation, the hostile agreements struck last month, were ending over Russia's continuing bombing of Syrian capital Aleppo, according to CNN. Russia's response to Kerry's comment reportedly end in agreements on converting weapon-grade uranium and another on 4 plutonium with U.S. However, Russia said the dissolvement were due to sanctions imposed by the U.S. over Russia taking of Crimea in Ukraine 2 years ago, according to Reuters. All right, so former Soviet Union Gorbachev is warning that we're on the brink of war. All right, this is Cold War status, but we're beyond that. In my next video, we're going to go beyond that and showing what's happening. Nuclear. They're warning about nuclear testing, NATO and Russia firing off missiles against each other. Not against each other yet, but practicing. All right, getting ready for war. Russia's come back to Russia. They're going to prepare for war, folks. We're ending that. With this election, 3 possible key things. Donald Trump becomes, Hillary Clinton becomes president, no matter what. 3. All right. So Donald Trump president. First, the economy collapse. World War III. Same thing's gonna happen with Hillary Clinton. Before the economy collapse, it'd be World War III. Then the economy collapse. All right. And either one you picked, there ain't no such thing as less than 2 evils. If you got 2 evils, you're gonna pick an evil? No, you're gonna just sit back. No matter what, your vote doesn't count anyways. Doesn't matter. Your vote does not count, folks. All right. It's the electoral college votes that count. The electoral. It doesn't matter if the whole world, all of America voted for Hillary Clinton. If all the electoral people said, screw the population, their votes count, not the populated votes. Remember that. This is the New World Order. We're a federal government. We are the federal republic. All right. This ain't the people's country no more. But whatever. We're on the brinks of World War III. I want everyone out there to be prepared. We got more videos coming. Please hit that like button and subscribe to stay up to date. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook. You can check that at the beginning of the channel and subscribe, folks. This is the movement. Until next time. Facing off. Check out part 2 next. Because nuclear war is on the verge.